Here we're looking at a good running 1991 Mercedes 300 SL convertible. This car has been sitting in the garage for the last 4 or 5 years. The previous owner is deceased and we're selling it for the widow. The car does have some issues. When you first started it up, all the lights in the dash were on. Now they're gone away. We put a new battery in it. It was sitting so long, but when you let it sit for a long period of time, you still have to hot shot it again. So, I don't know what could be wrong with it or what isn't. I do know that when we drive it, you can drive it down the road. The motor sounds good and the engine shifts. The transmission shifts good. That part does work. When you first start up, when it's cold, it has to heat up a little bit before you can actually move it away. But once it gets going, it runs and drives good. The power window on the passenger side is not working. You can hear it move a little bit. The one on the driver's side barely moves. We've had the top down with the manual thing before, but when you hit the button for the top, nothing happens either. So you're buying it just the way that it is. We don't know much about it. Again, it's been sitting for a long period of time, so it is going to be a project. But it's a good foundation because the engine and transmission are at least there, and the interior, as you can see, is in good shape. Top is in fair condition. It does have these little wear marks right here. That one's a hole. The glass, it's hard to see through. Body's pretty straight, pretty clean. It's got 4 AMG wheels. 3 of them are on the car. One of them's on the spare that's on the ground. We'll give you that to go with it. Again, it does run and drive good, but there's no guarantees with this car. Again, it's been sitting for 5 years. If you're into this kind of car, it looks good. There's a couple things. The bottom of that bumper is cracked down there. We took pictures of some of the things that were wrong with it. It says 500 SL on the back. It's a 300, not a 500. The miles on it are 153,000, but they couldn't see that before they put a battery in it. So when the widow titled the car, it said 175 on the title. So we got to sell it true miles unknown. There is a hard top for it. There's pictures of that in the listing. So there you have it. 1991 Mercedes 300 SL convertible. Widow sale. You buying what you see. This car is being sold with no reserve to the highest bidder. That means it will sell at the end of the auction regardless of price. Now, we're located in Towson, Maryland, which is just outside of Baltimore. So if you're flying in, the airport is Baltimore Washington International. We can pick you up there, bus station, train station, whatever. If you want to have it shipped, a lot of our buyers use uship.com. You can go online and they'll give you a free quote. Again, I've only driven this car about 10, maybe 5-10 miles, if that, and it hadn't been driven in 5 years. So if you're going on a long trip, you're on your own. I recommend having it shipped. Again, it does run and drive, but you never know. So again, it's a 1991 300 SL, no reserve.